Hello everybody, Master Gary Hernandez here again. I wanted to talk about another knife while I had an opportunity this week. I wanted to talk about a knife that I find very interesting, and I like this one also. I carry this one with me quite often. Now, a friend of mine, Morgan Thomas, owner and creator of Sharkee knives, and those of you that have trained with me or done some of my knife fighting seminars know that I always use a Sharkee training knife. I'm going to show you what that one is. So a lot of you are familiar with this knife and have bought them off me are the manufacturing company Sharkee, Morgan himself. This is a knife that I constantly use for our training for our RDT combat knife fighting. This is a great knife. I'm going to talk more about this knife at a later date. I want to talk about the one he created, the live blade. Now, Sharkee knives are also your notice they have his patented shark tooth emblem right here. Well, Morgan created a live blade, and it's called the snaggletooth. And this knife is a very interesting knife. I'm going to show you this knife. Now, I've put this knife before with photos and talked a little bit about it, but I don't think I've done a video on it. So I'm going to show you this knife. It's got a nice, durable clip. You can see the shark teeth emblems right here. Now, this knife, on this knife here, the overall length of this entire knife is about 8 inches. But if you've already started to notice, the blade is just a little bit under 2.5 inches. It's got a smaller blade, but there's a reasoning behind that blade being smaller. Morgan had told me he had designed a smaller blade for less lethal. In other words, more of a tool, but don't get us wrong, this is a great self-defense tool as well. But he didn't want to have a huge blade so it wouldn't be so lethal. More I could do some stuff and get away without really having to kill an individual with this blade. And those of you that are knife fighters, you do know that this size blade, if necessary, it can do a lot of damage as well. Well, this knife has several great features. Number one, I like how it opens here, flip it right open. But he also, with permission of Brom Frank, because he's got Brom Frank's patented kinetic opening here. So when it catches into the arm, boom, it opens, it slices. It can also be used, as Grandmaster Brom Frank has talked about with his knives, it can be used to hammer down with. But again, it will simply open and go right into what I need to do. Now, this knife, very sturdy, very strong. Obviously, I can hit with either end of this knife in self-defense. People think us knife fighters, all we do is simply slice you. No, we don't have to even use the blade at times. We can use this knife for striking purposes. I can use this knife as an impact weapon. Absolutely. But what's a cool feature about this knife I also like is the fact that this little button right here, little button right here, all of a sudden it becomes karate. Yep. So I can simply push that little button, put it away, open my knife, boom. Traditional hold, R, boom. Now I've got it as a karama. Boom. Placing it in, just like that. Now it's used. You come in, slice, stab, maneuver around, boom. Just like that. And if I don't want to use the karama, push my button, put it back. Now it's back to a traditional hold. It's got a great feel. It's got a great hold. He has serrated and non-serrated. I like the non-serrated on this knife myself. Just has a great feel to it. Don't let the smaller blade ever discourage you because it's extremely sharp. It'll do the job that's needed. As Morgan Thomas says, it's the right tool for the job. And you need a knife for cutting, a knife for prying. You can pry with this knife. You can cut with this knife. And yes, you can defend yourself with this knife. This is his patented Grommet feature. It just pops out. Well, it's not, he didn't invent the Grommet. He just did a different twist. And I really think this is such a cool feature. Because now I can also pop with this end as well as slice. So now you have the knife designed by Morgan Thomas and manufactured. Mantis Knives has manufactured his knife for him. So you can get it through Mantis Knives, or you can go on Sharkee website, www.sharkee.com. This knife sells for about, I think it starts at 140. But this is a well-made, sturdy, practical tool. I'm very, very, very pleased that I have this knife. This is an excellent, excellent tool. It's a great knife. Again, show you like this. Here. Blade up close for you. Again, the blade is just a hair under 2.5 inches. The whole knife itself is about 8 inches. Your button right here. Push your button in. Let me show you this way. Push my button in. Locks in. When I want to turn around again, boom, there it is. So it's called the snaggletooth. Again, you can go on the Sharkee website and take a look at it. And you can also, through Mantis Knives, I believe, has it. But it was designed by Morgan Thomas, owner and creator of Sharkee Knives. He's a good friend of mine. Again, he got the okay from Grandmaster Brom Frank to use his kinetic opener, where it just flips open. So you get the kind of the best of both worlds with this knife. And that's just a little review on the Morgan Thomas Snaggletooth. Thank you.